Alright, folks. Figured I'd do a quick little video while I'm out here sorting my mail and such. Got a few things that need attention on this Escalade that I wasn't aware of when I first got it. I didn't pay super close attention to everything. Now, one thing was it came with with one key, and it was a big old Hawking key. I mean, great big monster sucker. And it didn't come with a key fob. So I went ahead and ordered some key fobs off the internet. And it's really super easy to program the new key fobs. That's the brand new one right there. All you do is, like in this particular truck, and it don't work like this for all of them, but most of the Chevy and GM trucks, you hold the unlock button down, you turn the key off, or turn the key on, then off, then on, then off, and then you hold down the lock and unlock both on the key fob. The locks actually cycle once it goes into the programming mode. You hold both these down again, it'll lock, then unlock again, and you're programmed, ready to go. Turn the key on, turn it off again, get out of your truck, walk off, and you can test all three buttons, and all three work just perfect. Easiest thing I've done in, I don't know how long. But yeah, I'm kind of enjoying this old truck already. And that deal about the guy that screwed me over the $100, the dealership, the dealer I was working with, or the salesman I was working with. There's my credit report. We're fixing to get to the bottom of why I've got some things on my credit. Oh. My mother and my grandbabies. I guess that light will reach there, and yeah. Anyway, that's the first four right there. So Isaac's the oldest. Isaiah's the oldest. Isaac's the next. Isabella and Ishmael. My former daughter-in-law is a royal idiot. Plain and simple. I'm just one of the most ignorant people I've ever met in my life, and happy being that way. Anyway, the things I noticed that were missing on this were the key fob, which I've gotten replaced, and for some stupid reason, both of the driving lights are missing off the front of this truck. And I think I know why this is missing, but so is the wreath and shield off of the grill. I'm convinced that was pulled off and put on something else at the car lot. I don't know that for a fact, but that's what I'm thinking. Oh, okay. Kind of concerned about that. But these new key fobs, I think they were $16. Might have been, yeah, Yeah, they're 16 bucks, I think. The new grill emblem, I ordered one and I didn't read the ad close enough. It said hood and trunk emblems for Cadillac Escalade. Of course, there's no trunk on this. There's no trunk on the full Escalade. It's an SUV either. But 14 bucks, 14.96 I think is what it was, and it's the full emblem with the shield, and it's good quality. It's just about an inch and a half too small. So I came out and measured it and got back online and ordered the proper size one, which came to $23.96 or something of that nature. It was over almost $24 anyway. But it come from China. Waiting on that. And the TPMS sensors are the one on the passenger side rear wheel is not working at all. It's not even recognizing. And the one on the front driver's side wheel is, I believe, leaking, because nearly every day I've got to come out and pump the tire up on this truck. I don't understand why. I can't figure out why it's leaking, but I will say one thing: it's a pain in the neck with these things to pump it up with air. Now, I was driving this thing last week in Nashville because I went and got this thing MARTA tested so I could get it taken care of by the day before the day they had me have to have it into the dealership where I got the truck from so that they could get my tags. And for some strange reason, I'm sitting at a stoplight and there's two semi trucks in front of me. Light turns green, we all take off, and I'm hearing this, and I'm thinking, well, okay, it's one of these semis is making a weird noise, because they do. No. I get about half a mile away from that light, and I realize my truck's running, the steering kind of funny. Rolled down my window and stuck my head out and looked, and the driver's side front tire was completely flat. So I slowed it way down, put my four ways on, slowed it down to like 5 miles an hour, and I limped it probably another quarter mile up to the gas station and put air in the tire. Aired it back up and stayed aired up the rest of the day. Drove it clear back home. Well, went to work and had to swap out my computer at work. They gave me a faster one. And made it clear back home, no problem. Well, get clear back home, and the thing sits here overnight, and I come out the next morning and it's flat as a pancake again. I bought me a little compressor from AutoZone for 60 bucks. And it's a jewel. I plug it right up. 5-10 minutes, it airs everything completely back up where it needs to be. But even it's a pain in the neck to get on the thing, because it's not one of those where you clip it on and push down the button. You actually have to just stick this straight into the air fill tube on the tire itself and tighten it way down. You gotta tighten it really, really good, or it doesn't compress the little Schrader valve in there. Oh. Alright then. But it doesn't depress the little Schrader valve right. It's hard as heck to hit that thing and actually get it depressed to where it'll let air go back into the tire. And one of the nights this truck's been sitting here, it wasn't compressed properly, and the air compressor about burned up because it wasn't able to push any air out. And I went out and looked, and the gauge is clear up around like 100 psi. And I backed it off and tried putting it on again. It wouldn't go. So I got some WD-40 out of my Tahoe and sprayed in the little valve stem there and plugged it back up, and it worked just fine. The problem is I'm having to air this thing up either every day or every other day. The reason I haven't just run into town to my buddy down there that's got the used tire business and have him fix it for me is because, Lord, I got dog hair all over me. With that Schrader valve not working right and that sensor on the driver's side or passenger side rear not working right, I just finally said heck with it and went and ordered a set of 4 replacement TPMS sensors. The only problem is they're coming from China. So we'll see when they get here, but as soon as they get here, I'm going to run into town and have him put all 4 of those in. This tire actually needs replaced because, big shocker, salesman lied to me, and I didn't think to check it. The 2 back tires on this truck are fairly decent tires still. They've got a decent amount of tread on them. The front tire's got okay tread on it, except on the inside of the tire. Inside of the tire is worn bald as a baby's butt. And I haven't checked the passenger side. Either way, though, I'm going to get it get the 2 front tires replaced, because I always replace them in pairs. I'm going to get those replaced, and then when they all 4 wear down, I'm going to go get a whole new set of tires for it, just like I did on the Suburban. I would put the ones that are on the Tahoe. Would put the ones that are on the Tahoe on this, but they're 18s. And I can't just swap the rims over because this truck, being a 6-liter, has got 6-lug wheels on it. So, and I really don't have the money to be ordering a 6-lug set of mag wheels for this truck. I'll just stick with the factory ones that are on it until I get it paid off, or at least paid down a lot more. And then we'll start looking at putting some mag wheels on it or something to make it look different or nicer or whatever. But anyway, I'm finding little things, and they are very little things, like the driving lights that are missing and the key fob that was missing, which I knew that from the start, and it was no big deal because I knew I could get them off the internet. I did not know that they'd be that easy to program, though. But aside from those little piddly things that I've found, I'm loving this truck still. I mean, it's not like it's brand new, but it's not the worst piece of junk I've had in my life either. Just the little piddly things that are wrong with it I can deal with. No big deal. No problem whatsoever. Plus, this one they put the LED headlights. It's LED and halo headlights on it. It's about a $400 light kit on the front end, and the other lights just plug right up to it. I mean, the light lead for it just plugs right up. For some reason, the halo light on this one, on the driver's side, is not working. The projector bulb is, but the halo LED light that goes around it is not. Well, on the passenger side, it's working like a champ. Because it looks retarded with this one out and that one working, and that and the fact that the lights are all way down here instead of up here where they're supposed to be, I'm probably going to order, of course it'll be later on too, but probably going to order the set of factory replacement headlights to put back on this thing. Because the factory ones don't look bad. And I have no clue how to replace that LED light. That'll give me, having both, that'll give me time to, if it's possible, replace that LED ring. And then I can have those on here. I don't like the looks of these headlights that are on it, but I can deal with them just because they're different. But if it's not possible to replace the light in the LED ring that goes around the projector beam headlight, I'll put the factory ones back on here and just deal with the regular bulbs. No big deal, not a problem at all. But now the Tahoe, it's gone on one of its fits again where it just will not start. I have no clue why, it just won't do it. So last time I had to just charge up the battery and it finally turned over. But what it's doing is it'll crank, and it's like it's cranking and then it locks up, almost like the starter's bound up or something, or like there's a dead spot in it. And then it'll turn over again. It'll keep turning over. It just starts back up slow and then goes back to spinning normal and catches again. So, kind of disappointed in the old Tahoe. It's been a good truck. I've had it for almost 10 years now, so I mean, coming February, March, it'll be time to put new tags on it again. Of course, if I can't get it to crank up, new tags ain't gonna mean jack. But if all it is a starter that's causing the problem, then that's a $65 fix. No big deal. And like I said, it's been a really good truck. I've worn that thing out, hauled stuff that it shouldn't have ever been hauling. Hauled stuff it shouldn't have physically been able to haul, to the point that the back wheels actually scraped the inner fender wells on the back of that truck. I mean, I put my dad's old van on there to haul it to the foundry, and that thing was a beast. It's one of those raised roof custom vans that had a really high raised roof on it. If I can find it, I'll put a picture in right here. But it had a really high raised roof on it, and that thing weighed, I'd say, every bit of 8,000 pounds. And I loaded it on my car hauler, hooked it up to the back of the Tahoe. Somewhere I've got a picture of the Tahoe with the van on it, and it's like this, squatted in the back end so bad that I don't know how I made it to turn by turn to take that thing to the foundry. It was almost, I mean, it was just a hair of the front end bouncing the whole way to the foundry. But I made it. I mean, I took it slow and I went the back roads, but I did actually make it, and got the thing off there safely and didn't destroy my truck completely doing it. But Kind of miss the old girl. Kind of makes me mad that it decided it wasn't going to start just because I got this newer truck. I know that's not why it did it, but anyway, that's pretty much all I got for now. I'm going to get my butt back in the house here and do a little research on these headlights, see if I can find. I guess that's my 10-minute. There we go. But I'm going to get back in the house here and see if I can find out why the that bulb is out and if it's able to be replaced or not. I got to find out what those headlights are even called, because I have no clue. And see if I can replace that, or if not, what the factory headlights would cost. Because I'm not about all this custom stuff. Maybe a set of nice looking wheels, that's about it. Now I did poke around the other night and put a post on Facebook about decisions, and one of the decisions was a Banks turbo kit to put on here. Put twin turbos on it. And of course this thing gets up and goes. I don't know that I'd particularly want a turbo on this truck exactly, because that'd be just a little much, I think. But the other thing was an Edelbrock supercharger for the 6-liter. And like I said, the way this thing goes now, I'd almost be scared of it with a supercharger on it, or a turbocharger. Especially twin turbos. I mean, but they're talking about it being like with the supercharger, it's supposed to bring it up to like anywhere from 800 to 1,000 RP. 800 to 1,000 horsepower. And I just don't really see needing that. I mean, it's bad enough this thing's going to love the gas stations, which it's not actually doing very bad. It's keeping up with what I was used to out of the Tahoe, so it's not killing me in gas. Difference is I'm running super in this, and I'm waiting until this runs out to do a economy rating on it, because I've got seafoam in the gas tank too. This one doesn't exactly have the setup on it like the Tahoe and the Suburban that we had did, where you can just pull the vacuum hose off and stick it in the seafoam can and it smoke out all the stuff. So I'm having to go a different route and actually just run it through the gas and let it clean out that way. I'll figure out how to run it to where it smokes everything out of the whole inside of the motor, because when we ripped that Tahoe apart, Michael didn't agree with me that you could eat off of the interior, the inside of that intake, but it was really clean. I mean, that's one of the cleaner motors, the top ends of the motors that I've seen, because your EGR and all that's inside the intake also. But I mean, it was really, really clean for a vehicle that had 180,000 miles on it. Yeah, you just usually don't see them where everything's still kind of shiny and just got little traces of brown on it. So I'm a big believer in the seafoam, and the Mobil 1 motor oil and Lucas oil treatment, because it's a combination of all of those things that kept that motor looking that clean. Anyway, that's all I've got for now. When I've got something else or something entertaining actually comes up, I'll post another video. I'm not just one to put them up just because I've got a YouTube channel, basically. If I don't have anything that's remotely interesting or entertaining, you won't see a video from me. That's why I may go weeks sometimes without making another video. Anyway, that's what I'm into. Just thought you guys might find it kind of interesting about the things that were missing off of this that I've managed to get replaced, or that I'm getting replaced. But I think this will be a nice enough little truck for me. I'm not super keen on it being white. I actually love the black one more than the white. I do love the pearl white, but if something were to happen and I needed to get it painted, I couldn't afford to put pearl paint on it again. That stuff's expensive. So I'd probably be asking them to do a color change and just paint it black. But especially since that's my favorite color anyway. Anyhow, I'm done. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate your comments. If you guys are new to the channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. I'd appreciate it. Any comments that you have, put them down below. I respond to every one of my comments right now. So I say right now because maybe someday I won't have time to respond to all of them. I'd like to see that happen, but I'm not pushing for it. I mean, you don't see me going out hugging up on all the big YouTubers now like I used to, or running out every chance I get to meet them. It's just, that's not me. I mean, when they come here to the Nashville area, I'll do what I can, but I'm not traveling across country to collaborate with them, and half of them don't want to collaborate with me anyway, because mostly what I do is guns and working on vehicles. Kind of one of them things that just doesn't lend itself to collaboration at all. Anyway, train's coming. It's fixing to get noisy anyway. I thank you guys for watching. You have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon.